So we've got a bit of a problem here at Bike World, a dilemma as they say. The last few times I've been on track on someone's rather nice, shiny and expensive race bike, I've managed to smash it up. And the producers have said, enough's enough. So why not set myself the challenge of buying a second-hand bike that can be used on track and be turned into a real tool, but also still be used as an everyday bike. The producers like that. And they turned around and said, here's a budget of £3,500, go get it sorted. So this is the bike I chose, a rather nice blue 2007 model but 2009 plate Kawasaki ZX6R. Now when it comes to roping in a ringer to help sort out your track bike, they don't come much better than David Harris, Chief Technician at Gearlink Kawasaki. Mate, thank you for coming on the show.
No problem, mate.
What do you reckon, mate?
Oh, she's a gem. I think with a bit of work, she'll definitely serve you proud doing track days and road riding.
You reckon we can turn this into a bit of a track tool?
For sure, yeah.
Wicked, because literally sitting over there is Ben Wilson's Gearlink Kawasaki Supersport machine. We could just swap them around.
Yes, if we could.
No one would notice. But no, can you help me turn this into that?
Yes, yeah. Obviously, safety and reliability is mainly your focus. You check the brake pads, your chain tension, your oil level, and like with all of this together, it will give you a better package for whatever you decide to do with the bike.
Well, as you mentioned, maybe uprate the brakes, maybe a new sprocket set, and have a look at a few things?
Yes, for sure.
Let's get on it, mate. Oh, David, I see you're almost done there with the brakes. Sorry, I had to nip out and take a phone call, so I couldn't give you a hand there. But what exactly have you just done? Because I find brakes are quite useful when it comes to stopping.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they're a necessity. Basically, the previous pads that you had in, like, it's always worth checking them. The pads, as you can see, there's nothing left. So if you go back onto the track with that or onto the road, then one day you'll get unstuck.
You can see there's normally a line on the pad, isn't there, which is an indication. Yeah. When it's still good to use, and that has completely gone. Yeah. So, new brake pads. Have we put in standard ones, or have we dug out some rather special ones?
We've dug out some rather special ones because for your priority that you'll be doing on the track, it'll give you a better feel, enhanced braking, and hopefully a little bit less effort, so you can concentrate on going quick.
Now what I love about coming to a proper workshop is the very specific and specialised tools they have hanging on the wall, and there's some incredible stuff here you just wouldn't see anywhere else. I mean, check this out. That's what we call a nipple accentuator. We've got a high pressure variable timing flange adjuster, and finally I believe this is called a tube. I can't believe it. You have literally turned Roger into Ben Wilson's sports bike. That is incredible. I was only gone for 5 minutes. How'd you... Oh, hang on a second. See what you did there? You swapped them around to confuse me, mate. Oh, well, do you know what? She's not looking too bad, actually. It's got to be said. Let's just do a quick recap on what you've done. You've put on new sprocket, rear and front sprocket, plus chain.
And chain.
We've got brake pads front and rear.
Yeah.
And we did kind of like a bit of an overall check.
Didn't you? I gave it a quick run over and just make sure that everything's as it should be. You know, like so all your throttle returns properly and checks every nut and bolt. And if you wanted to go riding now, you're more than welcome to.
So all in all, David, I think that's not actually bad for a day's work. But one thing I will say is I didn't realise how much hard work it would actually be. It's physical, all this mechanical, malarkey, stuffy things, twisting and pointing at things. Yeah, I found it very hard. So I think we should call it a day for today, and I think we should congratulate ourselves on the fact that we have actually done part 1 of our Project Race Bike. Yeah.
I'm Chris Walker and I rely on Maxxis tyres for my race school.
Welcome to Mallory Park. We're here to experience the Chris Walker Race School. Now, as you know, we've done a number of race schools around the UK, but this one promises to be a little bit different because Stalker's roped in a few of his friends. So we're going to find out exactly what stands this race school apart. And honest, we're not just here for the pretty girls. Okay, I've just been introduced by our instructor. We're going to head out on track now on our bikes, do a bit of a warm-up, bit of a sighting lap, and get used to the track itself. Never ridden at Mallory before, so it should be interesting. So I'm here with the legend that is Chris Walker. And Chris, I've got to ask you, fella, first, thanks for having us along. Secondly, you're still racing in BSB this year. You're still obviously very active on that front. Why have you set up a race school now?
I mean, to be honest, you know, I wouldn't know when the perfect time would be, but I obviously can't continue racing forever. I'm already the oldest on the grid by about a month or two from Michael Rutter. My intention was always to either go in to try and run a team of my own, have a motorbike shop of my own, or something to do with motorbikes. And I've learned so much over the years from racing, it'd be rude not to pass a bit of it on, and obviously there's no better way to do that than having a race school, so here we are today. Well, listen, I've been benefiting from your knowledge and from the instructor's knowledge, and that's something I think we should point out from this. It's a very different school to pretty much all the others out there, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, there's obviously, we're not the only race school there is around, so there is more to choose from. My feeling is that you're never going to, if you're honest, you're never going to be able to make somebody into a full-blown racer in a day. But what we try and do here is give them the feeling for what it's like to be one for a day. So there's lap times, there's brolly girls, there's great bikes with great tyres, with noisy exhaust. All the instructors are straight out of BSB. You get your lap sheets at the end of the day to see how you progress and stuff. There's trophies, there's champagne. It's a proper day out, really. So I'm here with Steve Brooks, sales manager for the UK of Maxxis Motorcycles. And Steve, you guys have been involved with Chris Walker School since its inception this year. Yeah. Why did you get involved with the Stalker School?
Well, Chris approached us last year, and to be honest, you know, probably the most popular BSB rider of the generation. Everybody loves him. He was launching the race school, and he wanted to be involved with a brand like ours that's happening and vibrant and young, if you like. So, yeah, we got involved, and you know, all the bikes have our Maxxis sports tyre on. They're all here, all conditions. The tyres work really well, and we just saw the opportunity that, you know, everybody loves Chris. We can use that, help us develop products, and there's just so many benefits. And you mentioned that it's a sport tyre. It's not an actual race tyre, is it? So that's really interesting. You're actually using a sports tyre which can be used on the road and for track days, for the track day purposes. Now, why is that? Well, Maxxis are quite a young brand in radials, really, Luke, and you know, that was our second tyre. We've now got our third sports touring tyre out, so we're developing and growing all the time. And our sports tyre, it warms up really quickly. We felt that it was the ideal choice. Chris chose that himself after track tests. And to be fair, even in the wet, of which we've had a lot of rain, as you know, on these sessions, it warms up quick, it works really well. The BSB instructors are happy with it, the pupils are happy with it, and it's giving us vital feedback. It is, I must admit, I've been out in the dry and wet today, and it is pretty spectacular. It really does perform in both, which you wouldn't expect for a sport road tyre like that. But it's not just a one-way agreement, this, is it? Because I know Chris Walker's given you some feedback on the tyres for yourselves as well, isn't it? Yeah, there's many benefits. As Chris comes to the end of his career, he wants to get involved. He's got a motocross track, and he wants to do things when he retires, whenever that may be. You know, and he wants to get involved. The goodwill he's got with brands, people want to work with him. We want to work with him, and to have an ex-World Superbike rider, BSB winner, to help us develop product, I mean, that's brilliant. So for the future, Chris is helping us develop our new products. In fact, last week he was here doing that very thing for us. So in other words, I'm a test rider for you guys now as well. Can I put that on my CV? You are a test rider, but the times I've seen, I think that Chris is probably a slightly better one, Luke. Probably a good shout. Steve, thank you so much. You're welcome. Cheers. So Jamie, the classroom kind of structure itself is a little bit different from other schools, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. We talk about virtually every aspect of riding a bike quick around a circuit. Now, if you had a week with one rider and one instructor on track, you'd never have enough time to explore everything fully and put it into practice. But with a bit of luck, they go away with a bit of an insight into virtually every aspect. Instead of learning a lot about one thing, we'll try and give them a taster of most things. So the next track day or the next 2 or 3 track days, they can go forward, and actually if they remember it, they can use it as they go on. Well, it's been great for me, obviously. It's been a while since I've been on track, and just getting out there, getting the confidence back. Little things to work on has really, really worked for me today. But I've got one favour to ask, because all the bikes do have data loggers on, and I'm obviously assigned a bike. I don't want to be the slowest guy out there. Can you just put a lap in quickly on my bike? I'll just nip out and I'll do a 2.5 minute lap, yeah. Perfect. So
So the biblical rain came. It wasn't quite bad enough for me to start collecting animals 2 by 2, but it'll be interesting to see how these Maxxis tyres do in the wet. So we're going to go check it out and put them through the test. What a spectacular day. Where else could you spend all day on track with BSB riders, learning their craft and also learning from Mr. Whittam and Mr. Walker from themselves in the classroom. It has been spectacular, and if you want to book yourself a place in the course, it's very simple. Just go to chriswalkerraceschool.com. But for me, the big start of the day has been the Supermax Sport Maxxis tyre that has been on these bikes. It's supposed to be a road tyre for sports bikes, but we've been using it all day on the track. Obviously, it chucked it down at one point and it felt great in the wet. And if you want to get yourself a set of those, simply go to maxxis.co.uk.
Hi, I'm Dave Johnson. I love Maxxis tyres because they're freaking awesome.